Hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. This is Belinda. You may have noticed on my channel that I have changed the name to Cooking with Belinda B. I noticed that there are a lot of Belindas out there cooking, so I wanted you to know when you see Cooking with Belinda that you're cooking with the right one. Today we are going to be doing some shrimp and grits Belinda style. So you see I've got my shrimp here. I buy the big bag of shrimp from Sam's so I can take out what I want to use, the amount I want to use. And what I do is cut them in half. More of a bite-sized piece. Makes chewing a little bit easier. Okay, I'm going to season it a little bit. I've got, of course, some Old Bay. And I've got seasonal. Going to put some of that in it. And just kind of stir it all together. I don't want them too seasoned because everything that we're fixing, you know, everything that I'm using has a little bit of salt in it. So I don't want it too salty. I'd rather have to put salt on it after we cook it than it to be too salty. So I'm going to do that. Let that sit for a few minutes while I go to the next section. Of course, you see, I've got onions and peppers. Who cooks without onions and peppers? I don't even know. I don't even know. So I'm going to saute my onions and peppers a little bit, and then I'm going to cook my shrimp. And while that is going on, I'll show you the next step. Okay, I've moved over here to my stove. I've got my pan heating up here. Going to put some olive oil in my pan, and going to put my onions and peppers in there when my pan heats up so I can saute my onions and peppers. I want to soften them up a little bit before I put the other ingredients together. Now what all we're doing is, like I said, shrimp and grits, shrimp, onions and peppers, season it. I'm going to use a few other things in here. I guarantee you will like it when the product is finished. Okay, as you can see, I got my onions and peppers on the stove. They're started. On the other side, I've got a pan of water. I'm going to start my grits. Now this is the way I cook my grits. I'm using a cup of grits. I'm going to do 3 cups of water and 1 cup of milk. Now we cook with oat milk. So whatever you use, whether it's whole milk, skim milk, however you do it, that's what you use. I'm using 1 cup of oat milk. And I'm mixing it right in with my water. As always, I got my dishwater ready so I can clean up as I go. Stirring up my onions and peppers. They're starting to look good, starting to tender up a little bit. And my water. Got it heating. I want it to come to a boil before I put my grits in. So everything's coming together. Onions and peppers are sautéing. Water is coming to a boil. We're getting ready to cook some grits and cook some shrimp. All right, my water has boiled. I'm putting my 1 cup of grits into my water. I turned the heat down because I don't want it to boil over. And you know, with grits you stir. Now, some people rinse their grits just like you do rice. Now, I've never done that, and I've been cooking grits a long time. Let me know what the advantage is to rinsing the grits. The recipe I did last week, I did rinse my rice, but I've never rinsed grits. What do you think? Let me know. Okay, my peppers and onions are ready, and I'm going to put my shrimp in this pan. And let that cook. Dirty pan in the dishwater. So you see I got 2 things going on. I got my grits cooking and my shrimp cooking. I'm going to put a little butter in this pan. Hey guys, have y'all ever seen one of these? This is a butter holder. And your butter is always soft. And all you do is put water in the bottom. Put water in the bottom. Your softened butter. And you can leave it out on the counter. I have really enjoyed that. Now, I think I bought mine from the Lodge store, but I'm sure you can order them on Amazon. But they really come in handy because sometimes you want softened butter and you got to either put it in the microwave or put it on the stove. Now you got automatic softened butter and it works great for toast and things like that. Okay, let that saute. Let my grits cook. And I do use the quick cooking grits, but I always take a little special time and a little special effort with my grits. I don't like them lumpy and I don't like them crunchy. I want them nice and soft. I did add a little bit of salt to this water, but not a lot. So, okay, grits cooking. I'm gonna put a top on those. Shrimp sautéing. I hope you guys are having a great day. Enjoying this cooler weather here. I know I am. The heat has really taken its toll on me. You know, you don't even want to go outside some days, it's so hot. So I am really loving it. I've been able to get out in my yard a little bit, pull some grass out my flowers. So yeah, I have enjoyed it. Okay, my shrimp have cooked up pretty good. I'm going to use some chicken broth. This is probably maybe 3/4 cup there, and I'm going to use a little more chicken broth. And what I'm going to do is thicken that broth up. Let it get a little warm. I'm going to use a little cornstarch and thicken it a little bit. Okay, you see here my grits, they're over here cooking away. Okay. I'm gonna put a big old, good old glob of butter in those. Stir them up, and I have them on low because I want them to cook nice and slow. And once they're about done, I'm gonna add some goodness to them. Okay guys, you see my broth and my shrimp are boiling. I have mixed a little bit of cornstarch with some cold water, and I'm gonna mix that in to kind of thicken it up a little bit, thicken up my broth. And let that cook down. Okay. Turn that down a little bit. Over here, my grits, they're thickening up pretty good. But what I'm gonna do now, because I don't want them too thick. Oh, this is bubbling over more than I want. I'm gonna add a little bit of this chicken broth to my grits. Keep stirring, just to kind of loosen them up, thin them out a little bit. And then I am adding Swiss and Gruyere cheese. Probably that much. I don't know how much that is, but that looks like a good amount. See, there's 6 ounces in here. I guess maybe I added 3 or 4 ounces in there. Stir it up so that it all mixes in there together. See how creamy it's coming out? Yes. I love cheesy grits anyway. Okay. Let them marinate, all that marinate there together. Stir up my broth here. Oh yeah. Love it, love it. This is looking so good. Turn it down a little bit more. I just want it to kind of simmer now. I don't want it to bubble. Let that, everything, all the seasonings and the juices and everything. All right, guys, my shrimp is ready. My broth is like I want it. My grits are ready. They're nice and cheesy and hot. And I'm throwing a twist in here that you may have never tried, but you got to trust me. I had some kale that I had cooked and we had a little bit left over. I'm gonna use the kale on the shrimp and grits. Now I had this probably 4 or 5 years ago at a restaurant and it blew my mind. I'm not big on kale just by itself, but I can eat it, you know, in other things. But guys, you gotta try it. So this is, like I said, just some leftover kale I had in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna plate it up and show you what it looks like. Now, this was, as you can tell, this was a quick meal. You can do it for lunch, you can do it for dinner. Most of us already have the shrimp in your freezer. You got the onions and the peppers. If you're from the country, I know you got some grits. I know you got some cheese. You can use any kind of cheese. I just happen to use the Swiss and the Gruyere. It's great with cheddar, pepper jack, if you want to kick, whatever kind of cheese you like. You know how you like your grits cooked. This is our meal, shrimp and grits, Belinda-fied. I hope you will try it. Let me know if you like it. Also, instead of the kale, if you prefer spinach, use spinach. Either way, it's going to be good. Trust me, it will be good. So thank you again for watching. This is Belinda B, and I'm out until the next meal. See ya.